Hello everybody, this is Quick Coding here with a tutorial for you. This is going to be a C++ tutorial that requires no installation, so it's perfect for anyone who wants to get started with C++ or in any type of programming to see what it's kind of like and just to get your feet a little bit wet. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you need to do is go to repl.it. Now this is a perfect place to do your programming, and it sets up an environment for you. You don't need to install anything. Now you're going to need to log in or create an account. I've already done that, so I won't do that again. But you need to go to the main dashboard and create a new repl. Now it's going to ask you for the language you want to program in. We're just going to go ahead and put C++, and we're going to create it. So this is the environment we're going to be coding in. Looks like it's put some code in for us, which is nice. Looks like it has an int main. So what this will do is if we click run, it will display a little message for us that says hello world. So that's pretty cool. If you want your code to run, you're going to need to put it between these two curly braces. When a program is run, it's going to look for a main function, and it's going to run any code that's within inside of it. So this is what's getting run. It's outputting hello world to the terminal. So let's talk about variables. So variables are very useful. If you remember from algebra, we use variables to solve equations. So if we had something like this, we had 2 times a variable plus 5 equals 15. So our whole goal was to find out what this variable was. So normally you'd subtract 5 from both sides, and then you divide both sides by 2, and you get x equals 5. So now we know x is equal to 5 in this equation. Now, in programming, we do the opposite. Instead of trying to figure out what x is, we can go ahead and declare what x is from the beginning. So we know it's 5. We'll just go ahead and put that in. And it'll help us solve this equation. So think of it as a little mini calculator. So let's go ahead and use that in our code. Actually, I want that there, still there, so I can see it. So first, we have to declare our variable. So we want x equal to 5. So to be able to do that, we have to declare the type of the variable, which will be int, and that's short for integer. So int just means that it's some basic number. We'll leave it at that for now. So we'll name the variable. We'll call it x. You can name it anything. And then we put an equal sign of what we want to put into that variable. Now we can put any type of number that we want, but for this example, we're going to put in 5. So now, oh yeah, I forgot to say, we have to put a semicolon after every line. If there's not a semicolon, the computer doesn't know to read the next line, so it won't even run. So make sure you put this after every line. Now let's go ahead and display or solve this equation. So we'll go ahead and copy this line up to this point, and everything we put on the right side of this will be displayed. So let's go ahead and type in the same equation that we had before. So that's 2 times x plus 5, and then we'll end that line. Now what we can do is we can get rid of this line because we won't need that anymore, and we'll run it. And we get an output of 15. So we figure out that 2 times 5 plus 5 is 15. So that's pretty cool. This is basically a really dumbed down version of how variables work, how you can display it to the terminal. If you want more practice, try messing around with this, create multiple variables if you want, and see how they work together. that about wraps it up for this tutorial. If you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and come back for the next tutorial where I'll explain a little bit more in depth of what variables are and the different types of variables. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.